Angeles. Hello, Major League Soccer. Hello to all you members of the Black and Gold. Hello to the millions
and millions
of defenders of the bank listeners and all lovers of LAFC, and obviously you hangerbys and stopperbys and passerbys, whatever we want to call you. Welcome to the most LAFC podcast anywhere on social media, episode 233 of Defenders of the Bank. My name is Christian Philly Philemon. I'm going by Philly Flamingo today for some gosh reason I don't know. That is who I am. The man who was sitting on the opposite side of town in world now famous Nina Kiefer Studios, the one, the only, the mouth of the South Bay, J.R. Liebert, the
Scarf. That's me. And look, normally we are absolutely the most LAFC podcast on earth. But you know what? For this very special episode, episode 233, we're actually only going to be 1/30th of an LAFC podcast because this is the kit review special for 2023. Very exciting times in Major League Soccer, unless you're in Montreal, but that's okay. This is going to be fun, guys. We are actually going to take off our black and gold hats and put on our MLS hats. I should have had a prop or something, Philly, because again, you got to check this one out on YouTube, guys. If you are not subscribed to us over on YouTube at Defenders of the Bank on YouTube, please make sure you get over there. We had intended to do this as a live broadcast, but to show you guys how much of neophytes we are about using the whole YouTube thing, we signed up to do a live broadcast and it said, sweet, in 24 hours, you will be ready to go. And we said, no. We told the millions
and millions
that we were doing this Wednesday night. So you know what? Here we are recording this on March 1st. There still is no Montreal kit reveal. But look, Philly, this is going to be fun. We're gonna put as much bias aside as we can, or at least, I don't know. I will. You might not. I don't know. We can do whatever we want. But we're going to go through all 30 MLS kits. And we are going to finish with our rankings. We'll give you our top 5. We'll give you our bottom 5. If you really want, you can DM us. We'll give you our entire rankings 1 to 30. We are reviewing all 29 new kits plus San Jose's home kit as well, which they had revealed a couple of weeks ago. So Philly, I'm excited. And you want to tell everybody, Philly, who's behind the scenes helping us out on this one? We're doing this via StreamYard.
Yeah, we are. For those of you that are listening to this, we would highly recommend that you check out the YouTube channel because the stuff that we're going to talk about, you're going to probably want to see it. You're going to be able to hear about it, but chances are you're going to want to be able to see what it is that we're talking about. And obviously, we couldn't have done this amazing StreamYard. We're not neophytes. We're more troglodytes when it comes down to this kind of stuff. We're cavemen-like as opposed to just new to it. But if it wasn't for the beautiful Amanda, the Panda Philemon, we wouldn't have been able to do this. These fresh graphics behind us, all done by her. Obviously, the logo done by Dexter. So we have a lot of help here in this Defenders of the Bank camp. And we're going to have all kinds of fun things to do today. We're going to have a special guest pop on, Scarf. I'm not going to tell you who, but I'm going to give you a quick little insight as to who's going to pop in. A regular from season 1 and season 2. And this will be fun. It's not an innovative idea by any means. It's been done numerous occasions, and we're probably much later to the game than most people, but who cares? We want to have some fun. Everybody kicked off their season. We didn't. We got ours washed away by the rain. So we're going to have some fun with this. We're going to talk about what kits we like, what kits we don't like, and we're just going to have some fun. So stick around, hang out, grab yourself a cold one, and chill with Philly, Scarf, and some very special guests later.
All right. So the way we are doing it is we are going up the Supporters Shield table from last season, which means we actually have to start with the team that scored 0 points last season in the 2022 Supporters Shield race through no fault of their own. That would be St. Louis City. And look, we are excited because St. Louis has revealed 2 kits in the last couple of months. Let's first talk, Philly, about their home kit. Look, I'm going to be totally honest. The color, I didn't love it at first. I'm not sure I 100% dig it, but there are so many things about this kit that I love. It is a unique and a bold step for St. Louis City. They are taking over it's not red, it's not pink, it's not magenta. It's somewhere in between all of those. They call the color City Red. And I'm actually really excited because I think they've taken over that color. The accents go really well together. My only thing that I don't like about this kit, I just couldn't wear something with Purina on the front of it. Philly, your thoughts on St. Louis City's first kit?
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the sponsor on the jersey isn't going to be something that's always going to be applicable to us. I'm not eating Purina. You're not eating Purina. And if any of you out there eat Purina, I'm sorry, you probably shouldn't be watching this this podcast. But yeah, why? It's dog food. I love animals. In some cases, I like animals more than people. So when I see the Purina dog chow advertisement, I just think of a bunch of puppies ransacking a bag of dog food. And that puts a very big smile on my face. I like it. It's completely different than a lot of the other sponsors. I personally like this kit. I would have put it in my upper level of jerseys. But I mean, looking at it, you see the arch, the famous St. Louis arch on the crest. You see, obviously, the Apple TV logo, the MLS logo. I don't know what the flag colors for the city of St. Louis and the state of Missouri is, but I see the black and yellow. And the only thing I can think of in that case is Pittsburgh, because all their teams are black and yellow. But I personally dig this kit. If I were a collector of MLS jerseys, I'd certainly have this in my closet.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is I think this kit will eventually age well. You know, it's one of those kits. I really like it. And look, I will say this: while I don't love Purina as the sponsor, the color of the Purina logo and the color of this kit, they go really well together. You'll hear me talk about the sponsor and how it kind of messes up the kit on a couple of these. The jock tag on it, by the way, is the city flag, I believe, of St. Louis, and it matches this color perfectly. So they really have, this is an homage to the city of St. Louis. They did a great job. And I agree. It's when we do our rankings later, it'll be a little bit higher than people might think. However, they didn't reveal, by the way, Philly, just one kit. They revealed a second kit, which, oh, by the way, they played in and won their first MLS game in. So this kit quickly becoming iconic. And I'll say this, I don't think the picture that MLS tweeted out did it as much justice as it looked on the field itself, on the pitch. It's really clean. It borders a little bit on boring, but actually, if you look at it even closer, if you look online, there's a striped aspect, which you can kind of see there next to the crest on that small picture that we have up. The striping actually looks way better on the pitch than I would have thought. And I think, Philly, this is a kit that is going to age very well. We'll bring in our LAFC bias here just a little bit. I don't think many of us loved the white YouTube first away kit, but as we've gotten farther away from it, I feel like that kit has aged well. I absolutely think this kit is going to be just like that. And again, I like that the sponsor, Purina, the kit sponsor, doesn't take away from the overall effect of the jersey.
No, and the reason why they even chose Purina, I mean, they're headquartered in St. Louis. Even though a chocolate company, Nestle, is the parent, Purina actually is a company based out of St. Louis, Missouri. Now, if we were able to have alcohol
as far away
sponsored
from each other as possible, right? We want to keep the dog food and the chocolate away from each other.
Well, you could also buy water from Nestle and a whole bunch of other things. And here's an interesting fact for you, Scarf.
Oh,
They do not publicly trade on any major stock exchange in the United States. They trade on the pink sheets. And the reason they do that is because they don't want to conform to generally accepted accounting principles here in the United States. So there's a fun fact for you out there. But I dig it. Purina, not to be mistaken by Nestle. I think it's fun. I totally dig it. I wanted to say, if alcohol sponsors were allowed on jerseys, I know they started banning them in places like the UK. Obviously, Budweiser would look really cool on this jersey because, I mean, there's nothing to me that's more synonymous with the city of St. Louis than Budweiser. But alas, go for the next best thing, dog food.
Oh, all right. But yeah, look, I do really like this kit. We'll see where it lands in our rankings. Philly, let's see who's up first. Now, technically, this is the team that won the wooden spoon last year. And a team that look, we're looking forward to seeing this season. And man, when they announced the idea behind DC United's Cherry Blossom kit, I was so excited for it because I thought, man, this is going to look so cool. It's going to be fun. And then it came out and, oh man, it just kind of misses the mark. I think, look, this idea of the cherry blossoms coming in over the left side of the jersey. If this were on a black kit, Philly, can you imagine how sick this would look on a black home kit of theirs with the cherry blossoms coming over the side? Black kit, it would have been a huge hit. But on the white kit, it's a total miss, unfortunately.
A cherry blossom, also known as a Japanese cherry or sakura. It is a flower of many trees of genus Prunus or Prunus. I can't pronounce the word. Anyway, I was trying to get clever with it. I'm looking at this thing and it's got one of my favorite colors on it. I love the color pink. I absolutely love it. You mix that sucker in with black. That's my favorite color combination. I would have loved that for us at LAFC. Alas, Inter Miami, or should we say Inter Fort Lauderdale, they have that. But upon looking at this, the pink is what draws me in. If the pink wasn't there, I feel like I would either be looking at my windshield during the rain or a Sprite commercial. That's what I see when I look at this jersey.
Yeah, look, I will say this. The whole point, in my opinion, Philly, of the away kits is to take some chances, right? To have some fun. I think the home kits, those are the tried and true. But I just think this away kit, this version kind of misses a little bit. I just call this like the what could have been kit, because it was a great idea, but unfortunately to me, it just didn't quite hit the mark. And can they make the XDC a little bit smaller, or the sponsor on their kit? It's pretty big. I don't know.
XDC, X2C, you're in euphoria when you're looking at this kit. I mean, I don't know. I just see that I'm looking at a glass of Sprite right now. That's how I view it, with some fun pink in it.
Okay. I like it. All right. So who's up next on the Supporters Shield? Oh, man. All right. So I think you and I have similar feelings. Hold on, we lost Philly. Is he gonna? Oh, yeah. Not to reveal too much about where it appears on both of our lists, but I'll say this: the club kit. The club kit. It's a boring name for a kit. It's a boring kit for a kit. It's like they're trying to evoke the days of yore, right? Back when Toronto had won the treble, and back when they were one of the league's hottest franchises. You know what? This reminds me a lot of that coffee table from Friends from the days of yore, where it wasn't what they said it was, and it was trying too hard to be what it wasn't. It kind of misses the mark there. It's not an apothecary table. It's from Pottery Barn. This looks like it was a kit made at Pottery Barn. I don't love it. It looks generic. This just doesn't do it for me, Philly.
I mean, for me, the BMO on this kit just stands for badly made outerwear. I just do not like it. This is what you'd expect to see, and no disrespect to them, like Scunthorpe United or Doncaster Rovers and like the fourth tier of the English football pyramid. I mean, to me, it's like, I don't know, man. You take off the sleeves. I feel like something Dennis the Menace would wear. Like, seriously, badly made outerwear. That's what it looks like to me. Club kit, more like butt kit. That's what it looks like to me.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, look, it and I don't want to disparage the USL or anything, but it reminds me of like a USL 2 kit. I don't love the kit. I'll actually bring up a couple other USL teams later on in this, but it's unfortunate that Toronto, Bob Bradley, Mark Anthony Kaye, Tomas Romero, Adama Diamande, a lot of players that we are going to love to see in this, but unfortunately, I don't love the kit.
No, I don't love the kit. I mean, it looks like something like the Beagle Boys would wear, breaking out of jail, trying to rob Scrooge McDuck's money bin. Like, that's just what I see. Badly made outerwear scarf. Gross.
Badly made outerwear, says Philly. Who's up next on the list? And it is the Active Fault kit by San Jose. All right. We're an LAFC podcast, but I have to put aside my partisan feelings for San Jose to talk about the Active Fault kit. It's fine. It's a kit that shows San Jose is kind of sort of trying. I don't hate it. I see what they're trying to do, right? It kind of looks jagged like an Active Fault. The sponsor Intermedia isn't too obtrusive. It matches the Adidas white kind of nicely, but it's more like a passive fault kit for me.
I absolutely love it. The best kit I've ever seen San Jose have. The fact that they have a sponsor puts a smile on my face because they're starting to graduate. They're starting to like come up in this little world, certainly starting to rise within the state of California. But I absolutely love it. The blue and the black mesh, it's fantastic. I feel like I'm looking at like a bunch of icebergs. Like I totally dig it. For some reason, it makes me think of something to drink. Just looking at it, like I want to have an ice cold beverage staring at this jersey. Kudos, San Jose. Best jerseys, best kit you've had since I started paying attention to MLS.
I like this. This is Philly and I kind of diverging a little bit here. I will say, though, with the one caveat, there aren't many things where Philly looks at and he doesn't want a beverage while doing it. So
you didn't even ask me what I was drinking here.
What died in your glass? What are you drinking there?
What died in my glass? Does that look that bad from like your angle?
It looks brown or gray. What is that?
In the words of the great George McFly, it's a milk chocolate.
Oh, okay. All right. Milk chocolate. There we go. That's a little bit. Wow. This is Philly drinking chocolate milk on. Wow. That's
what happens when you have a bad case of gout.
I was going to say you're turning over a new leaf, my friend. All right. We're going to have to see how far apart our rankings go with this San Jose kit. Cause I think it's going to be a lot higher on yours than it is mine. Let's see who's up next in our kit rankings. And now this, talk about a team that knows where their pocket is, right? Like they're in the wave. It's cresting nicely right over the top. That is how look, Houston, I'll have to explain to you guys what good beaches are in a minute, but look, this kit is Houston Dynamo through and through. I love what Houston continues to do with the highlighter orange, the neon orange, the sunburst orange, the El Sol kit, which Philly is Spanish for the sun.
Thank you.
No problem. They did everything right with this kit. I love it. The only thing I don't like about it, there's no red line through the word cancer anymore. Now it's just a black line, so it kind of blends in. That's my only critique on this. Houston, look, it doesn't look a whole ton different from what they've done in the past with orange, but the little things they did do, I mean, I just love this kit. Well done by Houston.
I completely agree. And for those wondering what those 2 stars are above their crest, yes, folks, Houston did win the MLS Cup in 2006 and 2007, be it a very long time ago. But I could stare at this kit all day long. Like I don't even have to eat a batch of mushrooms. I could just sit there and smile at this thing because it's just so gosh darn pretty. I see what you're saying about the cancer bit being broken out. You can't necessarily see it the same way you could on other jerseys, but I absolutely love this. This is a very well done kit. And again, I'm staring at it right now. It's like, whoa, man, it's just like dragging me in. I absolutely love it. Visually, I think it's perfect.
Yeah, we're in definite agreement on here. Let's see who's up next. Very excited for the review. Oh, boy. All right. So, look, a kit for all. Who?
I got another word that rhymes with kit for this one.
Who is the all that wants this? Look, like their season, which starts a week later than everybody else's except for ours and Carson's. And I think Portland even played this last game. So it really is just us and Carson waiting for our seasons to start. Unlike Chicago, they're also waiting for their season to start. Philly, I feel like I'm waiting for the rest of this kit to load. Like it's just, it's not, I don't know. I don't feel like it's done. They're missing something. They did the reveal with like this confetti coming out behind them, and it just looked like pieces of it stuck to the jersey. It didn't even look like it was actually the jersey. I'm just so bummed about this kit because Chicago has just dropped the bag on the last like 2 or 3 or 4 things that they have tried to do. Go back to your old crest. It was incredible. Go back to some of your old 96, 97, 98 ideas and try and make those a little bit newer, refresh those. This kit is awful.
I like their new logo as compared to their second to last logo. That was god awful. The logo is fine, but the confetti bit, that's perfect. To me, it just looks like an aspiring art student in the 5th grade created this, and he forgot to he or she forgot to finish it. You're right, though. There is something missing, and that would be El sponsor. There's no sponsor on this jersey whatsoever, and so sort of embarrassing, if you ask me, for a team of Chicago's history to not agree upon a kit sponsor. Very, very bad. It would probably look a lot better with something here to complete it, but a kit for all. Again, there's a word that rhymes with kit that I'm not going to say on a family-friendly podcast, but this is pretty much what I think of it. It sucks.
Yeah.
My educated response. It sucks.
I'm not surprised that they don't have a sponsor for this kit because it is not great.
I wouldn't put my name on that thing. I wouldn't put your name on that thing.
Let's move on.
I wouldn't even allow the Gremlins to go on it, if you know what I mean.
Okay, okay. All right. Hey, it's a kit we've never seen before 4 different times from the Atlanta United. Look, we talk about how Houston knows their pocket and they kind of stay right in it. I think Atlanta is trying to develop their pocket with the 17s kit. I just kind of laugh at the whole premise of this. My question is really like, okay, but why, right? Like, oh, let's go all the way back to 6 years ago, 7 years ago, when the great 2017. Like, can you really go back in time 7 years? And I don't know. Let me ask you, Philly, looking at all of Atlanta's home kits, which a lot of them look just like this. My question to the Atlanta United fans about this kit, because there's probably plenty of things that they like about it, right? It stays in the pocket nicely if this is what you like. But if you've been, because they say this kit is for the people who were there in 17 and for everybody new. If you're a 17 supporter of Atlanta United, are you running out and buying this kit day one? Or do you already have 3 different versions of this exact kit in your closet?
You mentioned pockets, and what we do know is the owner of Atlanta United, Arthur Blank, has deep pockets. Although I feel like he didn't go into his pocket at all to pay somebody creatively to do anything. You're right. This is the same exact kit that they had. There's no creativity to it. It looks fantastic, but obviously it doesn't look any different. And to me, that's a problem. I think back on 2018 of all the LAFC kits I bought at that time period. It would be like me buying the 2022 kit, or actually, no, I have like 20 of them in there. It's just they fail on creativity and originality. They could have done something a little different, but you talk about pockets. Arthur Blank didn't reach into his pocket to pay anybody creatively for this.
Yeah, look, their inaugural away kit was great. Their 2021 third kit was great. Their purple kit that I know a lot of people don't like in Atlanta, that like creamsicle one was really cool. For a club that gets a third kit for some reason from Adidas almost every year, I would love to get a third kit at LAFC. This just doesn't do it for me. So unfortunately, this one kind of misses the mark for us. Let's see who's up next. Okay. All right. Kits that missed the mark. We're still in that same category, I think. This is called the Hoops 4.0 kit from Sporting Kansas City. And my question to all of the supporters of Sporting Kansas City out there is, did people want Hoops 2.0 or 3.0? And do they want 4.0 now? It's fine, right? It's, hey, can we just come out with a kit that doesn't offend anybody too much, that people will say like, okay, yep, that's a Sporting Kansas City kit. Like, no other team in the league is doing this because Sporting Kansas City kind of does this, but I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me, Philly. How about you?
I love Sporting Kansas City's colors. I mean, first and foremost, the colors look fantastic. But otherwise, I feel like I got magically whisked away to 1995 when I was jamming out to the Fugees and wearing Tommy Hilfiger polos. Like, this is exactly what I would buy if I was looking for a Tommy Hilfiger shirt in the 90s from Macy's. Rest in peace, Macy's. That's what I see in the Tommy Hilfiger section, because they were a lot more colorful than polo was. I'm just looking at like a vintage 90s like polo that you'd see like a member of the Wu-Tang Clan wearing.
Yeah, look, I can't unsee it. I was actually talking about this with your wife, Panda, who is a nurse.
Why are you talking to my wife, Panda, bro?
Because she was sitting next to the two of us.
All right, that makes sense.
But the back of these kits, by the way, I have a real issue with the back of all these kits. And I'll bring up a second issue I have later with all of these kits, every single one of them, because they're all the same style. The back of all of these kits looks like that X-ray smock that they put over your junk so that you don't irradiate your man parts. Every kit.
Where are you going on Friday nights?
I'm just look at the back of that kit right there, it looks like he's wearing an X-ray smock. I'm telling you.
Oh, that's true. I actually just got an X-ray the other day. You're not wrong.
I can't unsee it now. It's like all of these guys over their backs are wearing an X-ray smock. And I think it's no more apparent than right there on this version right here. Because again, all these cool patterns, right? If you're going to do the hoops, do them all the way around. If you're going to do all the other we'll talk about the other patterns in a little bit. But if you're going to do these patterns, do them on the back as well. Have it go all the way around. It just looks, it doesn't look great. I don't love it. Look, the Hoops 4.0 kit is fine, but it's not going to be very high up on my list.
Nope. Macy's Tommy Hilfiger. That's what I see.
All right. What do we got next? Oh, baby. All right. Full disclosure. I'm a teacher. I teach middle school in Culver City, California. And several years ago, I was lucky enough to be able to teach a member of the Bruce Lee family. And I will say this. They are extremely cognizant of how their logo is used. They're extremely protective of it. They're extremely aware of what that brand means to so many people. And so for the Bruce Lee family to have allowed Seattle Sounders to use not just the signature, but use the whole idea and likeness of Bruce Lee and all of the different creatives that surround his name and his likeness, you have to know that this is something that was vetted very highly through the Bruce Lee family. And good Lord, do I love this kit. Philly, the Jimi Hendrix kit from a couple of years ago, and now the Bruce Lee kit. Seattle is crushing the secondary kit market.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those that wonder what the connection with Bruce Lee in Seattle is, in 1959, he moved to Seattle. He enrolled. I might have been off on the when he moved bit, but I know he did go to the University of Washington. So, he spent some time in that region. Obviously, he's billed as being from San Francisco, but Bruce Lee has ties to Seattle. And I got to tell you, I am not a Sounders fan by any stretch of the imagination. Here's a news flash for you. I am not a role model, nor do I get paid to be a role model. When I'm looking at this kit, it went from 6 to midnight. It is fantastic, absolutely fantastic between this and the Jimi Hendrix kit of a year ago. Like I love what Seattle is doing, paying homage to their celebrities, and I can't wait for their Nirvana kit to eventually come out. But this, to me, I don't want to say it's my favorite just yet, but I look at it, I'm like, wow, this is a darn cool jersey. And part of me would feel guilty buying it because I don't like the Sounders, but this is a must-have if you're a kit collector. It's just so gosh darn beautiful.
No, you mentioned it. If you're a kit collector, you're day one on this one. If you're a Seattle supporter, you have to absolutely be over the moon about what your club is doing. By the way, Philly, both Bruce Lee and his son Brandon buried in Seattle as well.
There you go.
I've been up there, so he definitely has a connection to the city. Again, this kit, when we come out with our rankings, I have a feeling that Philly and I, they're going to at least be very close to each other at the top of these rankings. So Seattle, good. By the way, we're going up from the bottom of the table, and look how quickly we got to Seattle last year. What a rough season.
No, they won't CONCACAF, man. To me, it might be a hot take. If LAFC can win this CL, I don't care. That to me is a successful year.
I think I agree with that. Actually, we'll have to unpack that more on another episode of Defenders of the Bank when we're talking more LAFC stuff. But let's see who's up next on the kit. Oh, sorry, that was out loud. The Defiance kit. I'm going to speak for members of the New England Revolution supporters group and say, I will openly resist buying this kit. I will commit bold disobedience by not going out and buying this kit. In case you were curious, it was open resistance or bold disobedience is how defiance is defined in the old Oxford dictionary there. This kit tries really hard to do something bold. I appreciate some of the ideas behind the kit. I actually really like what they're calling the heritage tree. It's the pine tree that you can see up there right above the NE in the New England. It's also got a little 9-6 underneath it, which is kind of neat. I dig that. Really cool little jock tag. They're calling these jock tags, and we'll talk more about LAFCs in a little bit and several others. The jock tag is really cool on that. What ruins this kit for me is that United Healthcare needed to block out the front in white just to make sure you could see what was going on, and it totally disrupts the idea of this Defiance kit. I do not love this kit.
Speaking of Defiance, the Tacoma Defiance. You're talking about the Pacific Northwest and Defiance. Whatever. This has nothing to do with any of this. It's just something that hit my head. I like New England Revolution's new logo. It really is. I dig it. I dig it so much more than their OG logo. So I feel like they won in that category. But otherwise, looking at this jersey, I feel like I'm looking at like a diagram, an incomplete diagram of like the human muscular system. I mean, I feel like I'm just missing a couple of things. That's all I see by looking at this. And the United Healthcare just hammers home that idea for me. It's whatevs. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I'll give it a meh.
All right.
I'll leave it at that.
That's a little better than what I think it is. So, yeah, Revolution, by the way, tough season last year. Bruce Arena, a lot of stuff was expected of them last year. Unfortunately, very little actually happened. We're gonna be able to see our buddy Latif Blessing in this kit for all this season, although he didn't even play in the first game. But this is not an LAFC podcast right now. We're going over the kits. Sorry. Let's move on to the next kit that we've got. And all right, I don't know how you feel about this, Philly, but there is so much to love for me for this kit. It reminds me when I was like 18 or 19, I was finally allowed to go clubbing in Los Angeles. They had these under 21 clubs where if you were 18 to 20, they would have like special nights. Like there was a disco night, there was a rave night, and it reminds me of this one night where we had blacklight night. And the whole place was lit up in black lights. So we all wore clothes that would stand out in a black light. Thank God the black lights still weren't on by the end of the night, because there would be a whole lot going on there. But I'm telling you, this kit reminds me of that like dance club, black light kind of idea, the purple and the blue. And look, we actually posted this. Did we post it on our social media? I don't know where we posted it. It also really reminds me of a particular type of toaster strudel that I love so much. So there's so many things that I love about this kit, including the subtle crowns on the front. Philly, how do you like this kit?
Reminds me of breakfast. Absolutely reminds me of breakfast because it looks just like a wild berry Pop-Tart. I love it. This is a delicious kit, and it's got, to me, like that, and it makes sense, the Charlotte Hornets colors on there, which I absolutely love. I feel like I'm staring at something Buzz would be wearing back in the 90s when J.R. Reed and Rex Chapman were on the team. But to me, I think of breakfast. I think of wild berry Pop-Tarts. I think, brilliant kit. I love this.
Wait, while I love any mention of J.R. Reed for obvious reasons and Rex Chapman, are you just going to gloss over Grandma Ma and Alonzo Mourning? Are you kidding me? Zoe?
They weren't the start of it like Rex Chapman and J.R. Reed were,
I'm just saying, when I was playing NBA Jam, man, if you can get me Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning on the same team, I'm running the whole table that day. This kit, but I love the connection you made, Philly. The connection between the Charlotte Hornets and their old colors and this kit to Major League Soccer. I often wonder why more clubs don't try and associate, especially, I mean, that's what Atlanta has done, right? With the Falcons colors and Atlanta United both being owned by Arthur Blank. This is another great example. This does have a little bit of Carolina Panthers in it as well, right? So lots to like about this kit. I mean, this will be one of our favorites for sure. And by the way, kudos to Charlotte for being this high up in the Supporter Shield rankings as we move up the table. Let's see who's next. Okay. All right. So let's back up. Philly, you know what? Actually, Philly, I feel like I've gone first on a lot of these. Why don't you take the floor on Colorado first?
It's a shock because obviously they've got the claret and blue color scheme. So when you see this as an off color for them, it comes as a surprise. You don't associate this kit with the Colorado Rapids whatsoever. But that being the case, I feel like I'm staring at ice and snow and 60 degrees below. And that's Colorado for you. The mountains, ice, all of that. I feel like I have to warm up to this. Like my instant reaction isn't like a gut punch or a punch to the, never mind. But I don't know. I'm semi-indifferent about it. I think they tried something, and I don't quite understand exactly what they're going for, but it's not awful. Not awful. I don't even know if that's really a good rating. It's just not awful.
Well, I'll say this. This kit has a lot of meaning behind it. It is called the New Day Kit, and it promotes mental health awareness. And it
Oh,
really,
that's right. I
uh,
forgot all about that.
yeah, I guess in Colorado, and this is obviously something experienced everywhere, but apparently this is something that's a big deal in Colorado. There is the suicide rate is high. The mental health issues are at an all-time high for their population. And so this kit, designed by a Colorado artist, and lots of little details that are meant to portray positivity and strength of
Okay.
mind. I love what they tried to do. I really do. I feel like what makes me like this kit more than the actual design of the kit is the idea behind the kit. So it's probably higher up on my rankings than it would be if, for example, they just trotted this out and said, "Oh, we're just trying to breathe some bold, fresh life into the away kit." I love it more for what it stands for than for what it actually looks like.
Fair.
It just doesn't do it for me, unfortunately, with design, kind of like what you're saying. And I, for one, liked that mint green away kit that they did
That
the
was
last
nice.
time out. That was a really cool kit. But this one, it's because of the mental health awareness that it'll be a little bit higher up on my list than it normally would be. I don't love the design though. I agree. All right, who's next? Ooh, all right. Vancouver has a soccer team in Major League Soccer, which means that soccer team must wear jerseys when they play. And this is the jersey that they will wear when they're away. That is my review of this kit. I feel like this kit is as bland and as boring of a kit as you could possibly make for the Vancouver United. It's called the Bloodlines kit. And so what do? They put a maple leaf in the middle of a soccer ball, and that's their jock tag. Look, they have a great crest, right? Like, I really like the Vancouver Whitecaps crest. It's fun. That's about the only thing that's fun about this jersey. Just it doesn't seem like they tried.
No, and if you go to the description, they talk about the bloodlines and going back to 1974 when the club first came through, and trying to create this unbreakable bond between supporters through loyalty and common traditions. To me, this is the Tommy Hilfiger polo that you would put on the back of the rack at Macy's because it's so god awfully ugly. That's just the way I view it. I like Sporting Kansas City's Tommy Hilfiger polo a little better than this one. Now, I know they're not Tommy Hilfiger, but to me, like, this screams 90s rugby shirts. And that's just
Well,
all I see with it. I'm not a fan of it. My favorite part of it is the Whitecaps logo and then the little Canadian Maple Leaf soccer ball. Other than that, I would not buy this.
yeah, and again, for those of you checking in on us for the very first time, Philly, born and raised in New York and in various parts of Europe, whereas I am born and
Only
raised.
one scarf.
Just Germany? Is that
Just Germany.
Okay. Well, you paraded all around playing basketball and everything else, so you got your fair share of the European scene when you were in high school. I am born and raised in Angelino here in Los Angeles, and more appropriately, born and raised in the South Bay of LA, which is near Manhattan Beach. I was raised in Torrance and Lawndale. So we have very different perspectives on things when it comes to how we approach stuff. And also our fashion. I definitely wasn't buying Tommy Hilfiger polos and rugby shirts. I was the shorts and a t-shirt kind of guy. I was spending more time at Pacific, right? I was spending more time at like Pacific Sunwear than I was spending at like Aeropostale or at Macy's buying my t-shirt. So that's the difference. The other thing, Philly, about this kit, and they don't show it here for a reason because it is god awful, red numbers with blue names. They got two different colors on the back to highlight the bloodlines for the red numbers. The sponsor is Tell Us. My only question is, tell us why you designed the kit this way. Not loving Vancouver's kit, but much higher in the table than I thought they would be. All right, let's keep rolling. All right, the Velocity kit. I get what they're going for, right? This is Columbus Crew. Since the rebrand, or since the saving of the Crew, I know a lot of Columbus supporters are super happy that they saved the Crew, but I don't know how happy they are about these kits. This is a kit that I keep vacillating on, Philly. I'll be perfectly honest. There are times where I look at it and I absolutely love it. There are times when I look at it and I'm like, it doesn't do anything For me, I guess it kind of plays right down the middle of the fairway. And it's fine, right? Look, you can dress this up nicely with jeans. It looks good on the players. There's a lot to like about this kit. I just don't feel like they cared all that much. And if you really want to see how much they put into the story and the design and the idea of this kit, go to Columbus Crew's website and click on the hype video for this jersey. It's literally 17 seconds long and it's a picture of the jersey. That's all it is. There's no hype.
Whether they're scoring goals, shooting these photos, styling this photo shoot, modeling, making waves in the streetwear industry, or selling, that's their hype for it. Like, there's no like meaning behind any of it. But that being said, this is definitely within my top 10. I like the color scheme. I like the design. It hits me. I like black and yellow. What can I say? It's just a very sharp color combination. I like it, and I like the Columbus Crew's crest. I would buy it. For lack of a better term, I would buy this.
And that's what I like, because you and I, we do disagree on this kit a little bit, but this could be my Rolling Stones review of Weezer's Pinkerton, where they have to go out and issue an apology later on because everybody wound up loving Pinkerton and Rolling Stone hated it when they first reviewed it. I don't love this kit, but watch, in the grand scheme of things, this might be one of those that people look at and really like. I don't know. It's just not for me. So
Scarf, Rolling Stone also hated Led Zeppelin when they first came out. So Rolling Stone, they screw up a lot.
Every now and then they do. And so do I, by the way. But yeah. All right. We'll go from there.
More so than you. I like
it. You know what? And that we differ a little bit. All right, let's move on from Columbus. And okay. All right. So this is where I really do have to take off my LAFC supporter hat and just put on my very unbiased, let's review some kits hat. I really like this kit. I really do. I wish it wasn't Portland's kit because I'm not supposed to like anything in Portland, but we talk about how teams understand their pocket, right? And I think that Houston does a very, very good job of that. Atlanta maybe stayed a little bit too far in that, but Portland continues not just to understand what their pocket is, they continue to advance their brand little by little. They've kind of taken over that forest green and now adding in, it's the plaid kit. It's such a beautiful kit because it definitely gives you vibes of lumberjacks, and they just did such a great job with this kit, and kudos to them. This is an incredibly well done kit all the way around.
There's people that have referenced the fact that it looks like something that would have existed in their grandmother's house, like whether it had been part of the drapes or part of the furniture. And I have to ask, like, what drugs was your grandma on to buy such a nasty thing? Like, no way. As a drape or a carpet, this would look awful. As a kid, on the other hand, this is fire. They did a really good job with it. And I, like you, not supposed to really like anything Portland. But this is really, really sharp. As a jersey collector, I would have no problem putting this in my closet. I think it is nice. I love the patterns. I love the plaid. Obviously, the lumberjacks. You got Timber John and Timber Joey and all those timber folks obviously rocking their plaid. I mean, this screams Portland. I totally dig this.
Yeah, my only complaint, and again, they don't show the backs of these kits for a reason in most of these photos. There's no plaid on the back. It's completely one color of, like, if forest and olive green had a baby green color, it would look like that. So I don't love that part of it. Very unimpressed with the backs, the back design of a lot of these kits. But you know what? From the front, she's a beaut. All right, let's see what's up next. Okay, I think this is where Philly and I divide. I have a feeling this is where Philly and I divide. I love this kit. I think this kit is so much fun in that it's not really trying to be all that fun. This is the Real Salt Lake. I think they actually call this kit the Beehive State kit. I did not know that Salt Lake City, Utah, or that Utah was the Beehive State kit. I really liked it. Look, they tried really hard to make a hype video for this that was cool. It definitely evokes honeycomb and beehives. It's something not entirely different from what RSL has tried in the past. There's Kyle Beckerman jerseys out there that are bright gold, back from, I think it was like 06 or 07. I might be totally off by those dates, but I actually enjoy the simplicity of this kit. I think they did a great job with it. It's much higher up on my rankings than I even thought it would be going into talking about all 30 of these kits. But I like it, Philly. I think it's fun. I think it's a little different. And I think Philly's going to completely disagree with me.
I mean, yeah, it's true to the color scheme, but you know, when I look when I look at this jersey, I see the color yellow, and the two things that pop into my mind are mustard and urine. And I mean, I like mustard, but I don't really care for urine all that much. I'm not a fan of this. I'm sorry. I wanted to like it, but seriously, just if we were doing like a polygraph test or what, not a polygraph test, an ink blot test. I mean, the first thing, yeah, urine and mustard. That's all I see by looking at this kit. I don't know if that's helping anybody listening to this, but if you can see mustard and you can see urine, then we're on the same page. If you don't, maybe I am crazy, and that's fine by me.
Yeah, look,
I found my friends. They're in my head.
There is a little bit of a honeycomb look to it if you look at this kit even closer. What I love is they did a whole great article on this on RSL's website. And they say one of the big pieces of feedback that they've seen from fans is they were sick of white secondary jerseys.
Fair.
And so they went, you know what? We're not going with white. But I love that they went with this kind of gold that looks like it's kind of dripping in honey just a little bit. They don't
or urine.
use... They don't use the club's primary colors. It's a different shade of blue. Their color that they actually use on their kits is called banana yellow. But this is golder. It's definitely more gold. That one of the things I'll say this though, Philly, one of the things that I thought of is while this isn't the exact same gold that I would ever want our club LAFC to use, obviously, I was like, hey, they did a gold-ish kit, although this is definitely much more yellow. I like the kit a lot more than Philly does, and we'll go from there.
I'm going to just hydrate. I'm staring at yellow, and all I'm thinking is urine. I need to hydrate. That's all it's reminding me of.
Can you stop saying that on? All right, go. Let's see. All right, so the wall kit. I really like this kit. I wonder, Philly, where does this kit fit in your rankings? How high up do you like this one? What do you think?
It's cool.
They don't call you the best color band in the business for nothing. There you go. Yeah, look, I like what Orlando is trying to do with this kit. I really do. Purple is their thing, right? Orlando was the first to use it, and they're doing a very, very good job with the purple. It's clean, it's straightforward. And on the picture on screen, by the way, the brick wall kind of accents pop a whole lot more than they actually do on the jersey on the pitch. And I think actually that's one of the things I like more about seeing this kit on the players is that it looks far more subtle on them. I really like the accents, and the jock tags on it are really cool. I think they did a really good job. It's not a huge swing, right? But what it has done is it's kind of updated that purple brand a little bit. And look, again, it's a solid kit. And if I were an Orlando supporter, I would want to own this kit day one.
I think it's sharp. I like it. I like the fact that you could actually see the brick. And that's really all I have to say about it. I like it. It's in my upper tier. I have nothing really to critique it on or nothing negative to say. I like the color purple. I'm good with it. And I also like Orlando City's crest. I think it looks very sharp.
Hey, can we diverge for just 1 second, Philly? There's somebody else brought this up on social media and posted it. I was looking at it. I don't think, with the exception of maybe Chicago's, which I don't love, I don't think there's a bad crest in Major League Soccer right now. I think we do excellent jobs with our crests. I think you know what, that might be a show for another day. We might have just come up with another ranking show, ranking all the crests. That's going to be really hard to put our LAFC bias away from. Chicago's
last place.
Chicago is not a great kit, not a great crest at all. Got to bring back their old one, man. All right. Anyway, we're moving on. Let's see. What do we have after? Okay. All right. Philly, you and I feel like we have a conversation every time Miami releases a kit. And I don't know how you feel about this one, but I can see your face. We are both waiting for Miami to hit that home run. We are both waiting for Miami to say, you know what? Here's how you do black and pink. And maybe they're just waiting for Messi to come over. And that first kit is just going to be just the absolute bee's knees. And it's going to be incredible. this still isn't it out of Inter Miami FC.
Anytime the new kits come out, I am so eager to see what Miami is going to come up with. I love pink and black. It's my favorite color combination and has been for as long as I can remember. I always bought shirts that were pink and black during my band days. I love the color combo. But to your point, I feel like they've consistently dropped the ball on what could easily be the best kits in Major League Soccer year after year after year. You got to fire the creative director, man. I mean, they get so close. I just so eager for something fun to happen, and then nothing. I mean, I love their logo. They did such a great job with it. Again, pink and black. I have it in my upper level of kits mainly because of just the colors, but I just feel like they dropped the ball once again on what could have been arguably an amazing kit.
Philly, when you think of Miami, right, you think of that Latin flair, you think of the party scene, you think of a city that's just full of life, and none of that comes across in their kits. Look, take one look at everything that the Miami Heat are doing on all of their kits. They have a couple of kits. The Miami Heat might have my favorite jerseys. Sorry, jerseys. It's basketball. Miami might have my favorite jerseys in all of the NBA and all the cool things that they do. Can we just bring those guys in for a brainstorming session for the MLS team up the road there in Miami and make it happen? Because Philly, we are in complete agreement. Although I think it'll be higher on yours because you like the color scheme more than I do. It's another miss for Inter Miami CF.
Yeah, La Noche kid. It's certainly putting me to sleep.
All right, what's next on the board? All right, a really good half of a kit here. The Northern Lights kit for Minnesota. Here's what Minnesota has to deal with. This kit looks like an unfinished Forward Madison kit. I love Forward Madison in the USL. If you guys don't know, Forward Madison, which is a USL 1 team, so not USL Championship, one rung down. It's what we would kind of consider AA baseball. It is a USL 1 team. Forward Madison consistently has some of the most innovative, unique, fun, best kits in all of North American soccer. And this looks like they started to design one, and then like my Napster songs of the days of yore, they had to wait for it to load and just couldn't, so they canceled the download, and this is what you got. It is half of a really nice kit. I love the idea. The Northern Lights. I mean, Philly, have you been looking at social media or the news the last couple of nights? Some planes just went like around in circles so that people could see this new phenomenon. And honestly, I just, what could have been with this kit, I love the idea behind it. I absolutely hate the execution.
I mean, look, if you're talking about the Northern Lights, I think, and they call it that, I think they nail it. Obviously, it's an Aurora Borealis. You're going to have some color to it, but that's going to be in the north. And what you're going to see is snow. You're going to see polar. You're going to see a lot of white. So it stays true to its name. And it puts a smile on my face. I can see where somebody would think this is half a jersey or half a kid. Jesus, you got me saying that right now. But it's true to what its name is, Northern Lights. This is exactly what you would see from that perspective. And I don't know why. I'm looking at it. I'm thinking of a snow cone, and I want a snow cone, and that just puts a smile on my face. I feel like they did a good job with this. It's not half a jersey to me. Damn it. It's not half a kid to me. It is what it's called, Northern Lights. I think it's perfect.
I'll say this again, you turn around, it's all white in the back. It's so frustrating. They only designed a quarter of a kit, just the upper half on the front. They got a quarter of a kit right. Everything else is super white. And look, RSL fans just said it, right? They hate white secondary kits. Well, how about a kit that's 3/4 white? Just load the rest of the jersey, come out with it again next year. We'll see how it goes.
Right, I like it. Next. Whatever. You're a hater.
Oh man. All right. Another kit that, look, I've actually spoken. You have friends that are Cincinnati supporters, right? You got a buddy who lives there. I would love to get their take on this kit because I can't unsee something, and I'll wait till the end. I absolutely love a bunch of things about this river kit for FC Cincinnati. I love the deep blue color. I love the jock tags on it, especially that Cincinnati with the bridge is like super cool. I think there is a little bit of a Mets fan in me that loves that blue and orange, right? You and I have talked about this before. I think that's something that's really, really cool. I think that Cincinnati really did try hard with what they're doing here. And it's not terrible, right? But for me, Philly, I can't unsee the fact that it looks like the jersey got run over by a Bigfoot monster truck tire right in the front. It's what a lot of fans and supporters of LAFC complained about with our second away kit, what they called like the concrete kit or something like that. It looked like it was run over by a car. I just can't help but see that giant tire tread all through the front of that kit.
I am such a sucker also. All right, so if pink and black are my favorite color combinations, my second favorite is blue and orange. It just pops to me. Yes, it's Mets fandom. It's Knicks fandom. It's Islanders fandom. If you haven't figured it out, yes, I am from New York City, and I root for the bad New York teams. But that's neither here nor there. The tire track is funny. I never thought of it that way. To me, I see water. I see hydration. I see drinking. I see smiling because drinking makes me smile. I see the Cincinnati Bridge, which is obviously a replica of the Brooklyn Bridge. There's a lot of things that appeal to me with this jersey. That being said, it's not on my lower half. It's not on my upper half. It's certainly in the middle in terms of how I'm ranking all the jerseys, all the kits. I like it, though. I think this is a fine jersey. Damn it, kid.
Are you Yogi Berra all of a sudden? How many halves you got there, bud? I like that. Look, the Ohio.
It's like deja vu all over again, Scarf.
Right? Look, it's supposed to be the Ohio River on the front of their kit. And I see what they're trying to do. It doesn't do it for me. But you know what? They probably love it in Cincinnati. Ask your buddy what he thinks of it, and we can redo the review on another day. But all right. By the way, Cincinnati high up on the Supporter Shield rankings. Let's keep going. This is fun. All right. I don't know. It's the Man in Black kit from Nashville. Johnny Cash. I love it. I love everything about it. As soon as it came on screen, it brought a smile to your face, Philly. As soon as I saw Walker Zimmerman in it, it brought a smile to my face. This kit is just absolutely badass. I love everything about this kit. Look, I don't want to spoil my rankings. It's going to be pretty high. Philly.
You going to a funeral? Maybe I am. I absolutely. Hold on. I love it.
That's what you hear when you go to a funeral? What just happened here?
Well, I was quoting the Walk the Line movie. Thank you very much. I love it. I mean, the homage to Johnny Cash to me is awesome. I mean, when I first started learning how to play guitar, Johnny Cash songs are some of the first songs I taught myself how to play. The homage to that, the Man in Black kit, the Johnny Cash patches. And if you go to the MLS store, they got a whole line of T-shirts and hats dedicated to the Man in Black himself. This is a perfect jersey. Gosh darn it, a perfect kit. This is your fault, by the way. You said it first, and now I can't.
Talking about basketball jerseys. That's all.
Yeah, I can't get it out of my head. This to me is perfect. I don't want to go out and call it number one just yet, but I absolutely love it. I can't wait for away days. This would be something I would happily procure, keep it in my closet, and then wear it out in front of my non-LAFC fans or my non-MLS friend fans. I love it, man. It's so stinking cool.
If you're a kit collector, and I know you are, Philly, this is as important to your MLS collection as any kit out there. Completely agree. We'll have to see where it falls on our lists in a little bit.
If I don't buy it, I'll hurt myself today. Like, I have to have this.
All right, let's see how do you follow this one? This is going to be.
Of course, we went right to this one. Of course.
All right. So, Philly, why don't you go first on this one? I know you're itching to go.
All right, look, we're LAFC supporters here, folks. We run a very big LAFC podcast. We've done a lot of things with LAFC, so we have to take the bias out of this, and I'll happily take the bias off of this. Upon first glance, I'm seeing a couple of things. I'm seeing the Seattle Supersonics, and I'm also seeing the East River, New York City, circa 1990, green and gross. But when you actually dig deep into it and you see that this jersey is a reflection of the city of Los Angeles's flag, I have to admit, that's not bad. This is a team that, and it's not just us saying this, there's been numerous articles written about them. This is a team that's lost LA. They've absolutely lost LA. Ever since LAFC came into town, they've been more reactive rather than proactive. This is their way of trying to appeal to people that, are in and from LA. Although I feel like a lot of these people don't realize what the color of the city flag is, because the only thing they're telling me is it looks like a Cameroon jersey. I get that too, and sure it does. Or it could be Ethiopia or plenty of other places that have that same exact color. But I appreciate the fact that they're utilizing the city flag of Los Angeles. I don't hate this kit whatsoever. I don't hate it at all.
All right, again, we are an LAFC pod, but we are being objective when it comes to reviewing these kits. So everybody breathe, relax. That being said, I am also not just born and raised in this city, but I have actually worked for the city of Los Angeles for their Recreation and Parks Department for 22 years now. They actually 24. Geez, I'm going to be old. 24.
Yeah, you are.
24 years I have worked for the city of Los Angeles in their Recreation and Parks Department, running summer camps and teaching classes and doing all kinds of stuff. So I have seen the city of LA flag over and over and over again. And this is certainly something that the Galaxy have looked to incorporate time and time again in their kits. Their 1996 home kit with the green and these same accent colors of the yellow and the red and that lighter green. They do it time and time again. So this is reaching back to a well for them that they have done well with. There are several things about this kit that I really do like. I like the green. I like the arm collar. What do they call that? The arm trim. Arm collar. You only have collars on your neck, dummy. The
you pulled the Philly.
Trim, I did. The arm trim is cool looking because it does evoke the flag of Los Angeles. I think that the neck trim, the collar, is a little distracting, if I'm being perfectly honest. But look, I'm supposed to hate this kit because all it is a Carson kit, right? And so for that, I don't love the kit. But for what they tried to do, I don't hate what they're going for. Clearly, this kit was not designed by their front office because they would have fumbled the bag several times over. But I think that they did.
It would have looked like the Montreal kit.
There you go. Yes, more on that later. I think that this kit, it's not terrible for what they were trying to do. That being said, it's a Galaxy kit and it's gross.
Well, you said one thing and you hit the hammer on the nail with this one, an homage to the past for a team that continues to live in the past. This is perfect for them.
All right, look, I don't think we're contractually allowed to talk about Galaxy for this long. We gotta move on. Let's see what's next. Okay. Dallas calls this kit the Burn Baby Burn kit. And Philly got so excited when we pulled this up. Let me tell you about a kit that misses the mark. It's the Dallas Burn Baby Burn kit for a team that is clearly now number 3 in terms of kit design in their own state. I think that Austin has done wonderful things, with the exception of this year's jersey, with the Verde and everything that they try to do with the branding in Austin. I think that Houston, you and I have already talked about the El Sol kit, which Philly, again, is Spanish for the sun. And what Houston does with all of their orange kits are fantastic. I get it. The Since 96ers are stoked about this because the Dallas Burn, the original name for FC Dallas, but the flames kind of look like cartoonish emoji flames instead of like, this is supposed to evoke like fire, fear, burning. It doesn't do it for me.
While, yes, I can conjure images of Bowser spitting flames or being in a Mega Man video game.
Ooh,
I appreciate the homage to the Dallas Burn because there was no FC Dallas in 1996. 2004 is when this team rebranded to become FC Dallas, or as we like to lovingly call them, FC Ribeye Steak. I dig it. I dig the old logo there. I think it's pretty cool. But when you said the cartoonish flames, I had to go with Mega Man and Bowser. But these are still things that make me smile. I like it. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I get what it tried to do, right? I don't see it. I don't love it. It's it's just not great.
Sebastian Ibiaga would make this kit look good. Let's just put it that way.
Look, and here's what I will say. For years now, for years, the Dallas kits have been devoid of any creativity. I mean, really, it's been rough. If you're a Dallas fan, it was either a white kit on the road, and then they did this baby blue kit, but now you just look like Sporting Kansas City with the way they did it. So at least they're trying something different. But I saw it on them this first week and really didn't love it. So I think it just kind of misses the mark. But you know what? I'll give them points for trying, and that's about it.
I like it.
All right, let's see what we got next. All right, so Philly, here are my thoughts on, oh, we lost Philly for a minute there. Here are my thoughts on the latest New York Red Bulls kit. This kit, Philly, answers one question for me. How can we look like a generic third-class member of the Red Bull soccer pyramid while still trying to show our fans that we kind of care? Nailed it. Nailed it. There is nothing about this kit that invokes the city or the great state of New York. Nothing about this kit. This kit looks like it could be RB Leipzig's practice kit. It could be Salzburg's secondary kit. It could be any of the other clubs in the Red Bull pyramids, first, second, third, practice, I don't know, fashion kit. This kit does absolutely nothing to represent the city or state of New York, but it kind of does look like the color of the Jersey Rivers, no?
Well, first and foremost, they've never represented New York. From a born and raised New Yorker, this is New Jersey. I'm sorry. This is the New Jersey energy drink.
I agree. This kid is New Jersey. I agree.
This is all New Jersey. And I don't have a problem with New Jersey per se. I owned a condo in Jersey City before I moved out to LA. But to me, Red Bull is not a New York team. It never was. Maybe when they were the Metro Stars and practiced in Queens, I'll give them that. But no, they were never a New York team. They never appealed to a kid from the city. That being said, I stare at this kid and I think of myself in high school, and there were things that I would do in high school that I wouldn't be proud of. I can distinctly remember chewing on Bic pens as a nervous habit and having the pen explode in my mouth, or keeping the pen in my pocket and it exploding in my pocket in the wash. And that's exactly what this looks like to me. Somebody's pen exploded in the wash on their white jersey, and that's what this is. This was a Red Bull energy drink marketing piece that somehow got stained with a Bic pen. This is exactly what I see for this New Jersey energy drinks piece of cloth.
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't think Philly loves it. And I think we can move on from this kit just about as quickly as we can, the way Caden Clark has moved up the Red Bulls pyramid. All right, so this will be interesting. I'm going to defer to our resident New Yorker on this one to talk about NYCFC's Interboro kit.
Absolutely love it. I'm not going to spoil it as to where it ranks. The minute I saw it, I fell in love with it. It's got the colors of the New York State flag. You're staring at the NYC FC logo in there. It reeks of the tile marks you'd see in some of the subway stations in and around the Upper East, the Upper West Side. You got the Statue of Liberty's torch on the bottom. I think this is one of the most beautiful kits that New York City has ever had, and I had season tickets for them in that inaugural season. I lived in New York when this team came out. I loved what they were doing with I love their away kit. Up until this, their black away kit was my favorite NYCFC kit until this Interboro kit came out. I love it. I can stare at it all day. I would frame it and put it on my wall and just look at it and smile. I imagine myself being on the subway, which, if you know anything about Los Angeles, the public transportation around here sucks. There are no subways, and they're not good for the ones that do exist. I miss being on the trains. At times, I really do miss being back in New York City. I love, love, love this kit.
All right, so I'm glad, by the way, Philly, that you could tell, right, from the minute you started talking about this kit. There's so many things about it you love. We talked about what the away kit should be for, right? This is where teams should swing big. This is where teams should try fun stuff. And even though this kit is that same light baby blue that most of their away kits are, home. Yeah, excuse me. Even though this kit is light blue the way most of their home kits are, it still manages to swing pretty big in how it designs, especially, again, it's only on the front because thanks, Adidas. I think I have read a couple of reviews where it said it kind of also looks like a sewer grate on the front, which is interesting. I didn't see
That's
that
still
before.
New York.
I read, right, exactly, right, which is exactly what I said. I was like, yeah, but that's still New York. The whole point of these kits is to swing big, right, for these second kits. And I think they did a wonderful job with it. I don't 100% love the execution, but again, without having the kit in my hands and being able to look at it at all the deep detail and everything, it's a kit that at least if you're a supporter of this club, you're proud of the stroke that your team took. You're proud of the swing that the design department chose. I love it. Although I will say, isn't that the same New York Liberty, the WNBA team? Isn't that the same torch? I don't know. Either way, it's pretty cool. They did a great job. I'm all for it as well. Although I think it'll be a little higher on Philly's list.
Yep, agreed.
All right, let's move on. All right, Philly, I'm gonna steal the words of your wife. I can't.
Second time you brought her up today, Scarf.
I don't.
I'm asking questions.
She's producing the show.
That's true. Fine, you got me.
She described this kit as television static. And I really do like that as the description for it. It's also, look, we're going to date ourselves a little bit here, Philly. And no, we're not dating, but we're dating ourselves. Philly, when you would leave the TV on late at night, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and the channel would go off the air, but they'd still have the color lines on the television. If it happens in Austin's stadium, this is what it would look like if the screen just goes to those color lines or programming yet to come. They do such a good job with their branding and their kits, and this to me just totally misses.
The voices. You would have to be crazy enough to hear the voices to have come out with this kind of a kit after you have such a tremendous kit from the previous season. When they launched originally, I thought, oh man, these guys absolutely hit a home run with the first kit. Absolutely. This, on the other hand, yeah, I feel like you go to, I'm going to bring up another Back to the Future reference. When Marty McFly's passed out on Doc's couch in the third movie, you see the static, and the next thing you know, Howdy Doody comes on the boob tube. That's what it is in that pukey color. It's not a pukey color. I actually love Austin's colors, but this to me is like, it's staring at that. It's staring at a weird, funky kaleidoscope. The mismatching. It's just an eyesore, man. This is what you would buy like a shirt and tie combo at Marshall's that looks like this to go on like your first interview for your internship in college. I mean, they did awesome last year. This year, I think this is it's a POS. I'm sorry. That's the only thing I can think of. It's a POS.
I agree in that it's probably one of the bigger misses, but I'll say this. It's only as big of a miss because of how well they've branded themselves to start. FC Broccoli has done a great job over the first couple of kits. And again, this one just isn't it. So
it falls along the lines of the city motto, keep Austin weird. I mean, the kit is certainly weird, so they succeeded there.
Yeah, but I'll say this. Even if you watch the video for this kit, right, to me, Portland kind of has the market on weird, right? Like if you've ever been to Portland, that's their whole thing. Keep Portland weird. It's like, it's a thing, right? And this really seems like they're trying to tap into that Portland niche where they're being a little too weird with it, a little too offbeat with it. Even their video kind of screams like PDXTX a little bit. For me, I just didn't love it all the way around. I'm just disappointed in this round. And I would love to hear from some of their supporters to hear what they think about this, because I don't think it's great. But
no, the Kryptonite kit. Superman couldn't even stand staring at this thing.
Yeah, it's rough. All right, we're getting pretty high up the supporter shield rankings. And here it is. We're breaking we're breaking news here on Defenders of the Bank. Here's the new Montreal advertising campaign for the Foot Clan, Club de Foot Montreal. We don't have a kit yet for you guys. And look, we have to be careful with how much we make light of this, because there's actually a reason why there's no kit reveal yet. And it's because the club had wanted to include an inscription in an indigenous language as an homage to the indigenous people of the area of Montreal. And apparently that inscription has caused a delay, whether that's an issue in the translation, whether that's an issue in the wording, whether that's an issue in getting the approval from the indigenous peoples to even use something like that. We don't know. So they don't have their new kit available. And they kind of make it seem like it might not be the quickest resolution. So they are going to play in one of my favorite kits from last year. In all of their home and away matches, there's this gray, blue marbled kit that I just think looks absolutely beautiful. I'm one of those people. I was one of those kids. I'm now one of those adults that is fascinated by rocks. I like going to like museum gift shops and seeing all the cool, most of the time it's just like fool's gold, pyrite and obsidian and like all those other kind of dorky things that I'm super into. I love dorky stuff like that. And their kit reminds me of those geodes you would open up when you were little. I really like the away kit that they're going to be using. However, we're not reviewing last year's kits, Philly. We're reviewing this year's kit. So Philly, it used to be our old sponsor. Can you play our old sponsor's review of the newest kit for Montreal, please?
Absolutely. And it is our old sponsor because we're getting paid these days, folks. Yeah. So now a word from our old sponsor.
There you go. That's my review.
Rock Scarf. Kit. I hated geology. I wanted so badly to like geology in college. I hated it. It was the most painful class I took. I wanted to eat rocks. That's how badly I hated the
Billy,
class.
You didn't study rocks. You played rock. That's even better, man. That's cool. See what I did there?
I like it. Okay, so we can move on from this Oroku Saki t-shirt.
All right. So I like what Philly's been doing. Not you, the jersey. I like what the Union have been doing with their two last second kits. Philly, how iconic would their last away kit have been? Oh, wait, if not for LAFC and Gareth Bale slamming the door on Jack Elliott and then J-Mac Daddy. Sorry. It's not an LAFC podcast. It's a kit review podcast or a kit review podcast. But man, I love what they're doing. It's weird camouflage. I kind of dig it. It's simple enough in places. The snake is cool, man. You can say what you want, but I think that snake is cool. Why do I hate the apostrophe after the S in Thomas's English muffins so much? Thomas, we know they're your muffins. Stop being so possessive of these muffins. It's like the only thing I don't like. That just said Thomas on the front. First of all, it'd be kind of weird because every player would be named Thomas, but I just don't like that stupid apostrophe. It's a possessive. I know they're Thomas's English muffins, but so does the rest of the world. Why are you so possessive of your muffins, Thomas?
Technically, Thomas doesn't own this. Bimbo owns this. Bimbo Bakery of the United States. And Thomas is a subsidiary business of said Bimbo. That being said, Thomas puts a smile on my face because, like Charlotte, what do I think of? Breakfast. That's right. Thomas's English muffins in the toaster with a little bit of that cream cheese. That being said, I don't hate the rest of this kit. I never really disliked the Philadelphia Union until we met several of their fans at Banc of California Stadium last year. And then for some reason, I wanted to stick it to their fans that came to LA more than anything. But this isn't an awful kit. I would never wear it because as a New Yorker, I would never, ever, ever own anything from the city of Philadelphia or the city of Boston. That being said, I will never own this kit, but it's not bad. I see English muffins, and English muffins put a smile on my face, ear to ear, baby.
Yeah, look, I like the baby blue and yellow and the camo. Like it's not trying so hard to be camouflage. It's trying a little bit more to be fashion.
Don't tread on me, Scarf.
The last two kits for Philadelphia, I hated the Artisano sponsor on the front of it. I know, again, that's another arm.
Bread. You hate bread.
Time out. I love bread. I'm actually probably about 17% bread in the makeup of me. I absolutely love it. But that being said, I don't love the sponsors on their last two kits, but I kind of like what Philly's doing. They're kind of taking over this color scheme a little bit between their last second kit and this one. Not terrible. probably a little higher up on my list than you might think. But all right, we'll
Don't
move
tread
on.
on it, Scarf.
I don't want to talk about these guys very much because we got to talk about this next one. We're at the top of the supporter shield, baby. We are an LAFC podcast. So now we didn't just save this for last. We chose to go from the bottom of the supporter shield all the way up to the top. And we've landed on the LAFC's smoke screen kit. I like it. I like it more because it has a star on the top of the kit where we didn't have a star before. I like that they used the secondary LA script over the traditional crest, although I absolutely love our crest. For some reason on this kit, the Flex logo isn't like largely obtrusive. It's a really clean logo, and the Flex power tools on the bottom gives it a nice little base as well. And we love our good friends over at Flex. But my favorite part about this kit, it's not the color. It's not the sponsor. It's not the LA. It's the star and that really cool MLS crest, Philly, that we get to wear this year and not any other team gets to wear because it's got the MLS Cup inside of it. Philly, your thoughts on the smokescreen kit?
This is a kit that you need to see in person in order to pass a fair judgment on. When they leaked it months ago, somebody in England, I believe, snapped a photo of it. Upon first glance, I really did not like it. I thought it was interesting and innovative what they were doing. Once I got the idea that it was smoke and it was supposed to be smoke that comes from the 3252, the North End, our supporters, I dug the idea of it. But I didn't like what I saw on via photograph. That being said, looking at it in person and in the light, it's a lot nicer than even this picture depicts. And what's fascinating, if you go back to our very last podcast, episode 232, and you take a look at the both of us, it's a perfect example as to how lighting completely makes this jersey pop. Because on my end, it's as green can be. On Scarf's end, it was like camouflage, man. He blended in with the walls and the curtain. It didn't even look like the same kit. But I like that they did something new with the LA rather than the crest. The star obviously makes me smile because that's history. That's something that, not every team in this league has been able to do, and we have, and a supporter shield. But I like it. It's not my favorite. Spoiler, it's not in my top 5. I don't even know if it's in my top 10.
Wow.
But I really do like what they did. It's innovative. And we've said time and time again that LAFC hasn't really hit a home run with their away kits. This one, though, I will say is my favorite away kit out of all of them. And I'm even talking about the white one in the 2018 inaugural season. I think this one beats the absolute pants off of it. And the fact that we're actually going to have shorts that match with this as opposed to the previous away jersey, I like this. It's by far my favorite LAFC away kit, but it's not my favorite jersey or favorite kit for this year.
Yeah, shout out to Uncle Rich for his tan jersey, linen jersey, and white shorts combination there. He's still the only one that likes it.
The laundry linens.
Look, I think that it is important that we go over once again, the whole point of these second kits, as far as I am concerned, is to take swings, right? To have fun with it. And I think that's clearly what LAFC did here. And I want to quote, I can't say whom, but I want to quote a source very close to the team who said, photographing it on the players was actually harder than it is photographing it in the stadium. And what they meant by that was that when you get to dress this up, when it's not just the same exact color shorts and then socks that kind of match with whatever boots you're going to wear, but if it's jeans, if it's a black jacket around it, if it's the olive trainers that they came out with as well, it actually looks way cooler as a fashion piece, in my opinion, as an LAFC supporter than it does as a kit on the players. And I think that this is one, again, that I am going to grow to love more and more and more and more. But I do want to make one specific complaint, not about the LAFC smokescreen kit, but about every single one of the kits debuted this year. Why did we decide to go with slim fit kits? Not all of us are slim fit people. And so this is every kit that came out this year is a slim fit kit. And I only know how uncomfortable it is to go from a regular fit, even in the authentics. And I've only bought authentic kits, no replica kits. I've always bought the authentics, and they've all fit perfectly fine and perfectly true to size. And then I put this guy on, and this kit said, "Oh, smokescreen. No, we're gonna highlight all those wonderful parts of your body that you want to fill with smokescreen in front anyway." And that's what I had to deal with the slim fit kit. I don't love it, but I think this is a kit that I'm gonna love more and more and more as we go along.
Man, why not a smoke show scarf? Somebody might have actually appreciated seeing you in that, flattering kit. I don't know. I'm just saying. I like it. The only thing that stinks is I don't feel like I can wear it to our home opener against the Portland Timbers because there's going to be way too much green. So I'm going to have to wait before I get to debut those with the green pants and the olive trainers. But yeah, not my favorite, but my favorite away kit from LAFC without a doubt.
Yeah,
and again, you have to see it in person with good lighting to really make a good assumption as to whether or not you like this kit.
Which sounds like we're putting an awful lot of qualifiers behind it, but this is also the kit that we know the best out of the 30 that we have reviewed. I will say this too. I am looking forward to, hopefully LAFC does make some sort of Samba related to this kit. I think that would be a lot of fun. That would be pretty cool. Philly, that takes us through all 30 kits that we were going to review. So I think it's time, Philly. Let's talk. And I forget how we said we're going to do this. Are we doing our top? Oh, we're doing Philly's bottom 5. It's Panda, so I should have known we're starting with Philly's bottom. All right, Philly's bottom.
She says I don't have one, bro.
I know that's true. She does say that.
We're working on my glutes though. She's gonna be bouncing quarters off them pretty soon.
Oh boy, there's a lot of information that I brought up here. That's probably my fault.
Yeah,
all right, Philly. Would you care to review? Are you going to go from 5 to 1, or are you going from like the worst to like the fifth?
The worst to the fourth, the worst to the fifth worst.
All right, so you're going. This is your absolute worst out of the 30 that we have just reviewed. This is Philly's worst.
Oh, it's the other way around. I'm sorry. It's going to be from like the fourth to last, all the way to last.
Okay,
sorry.
So it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in terms of.
I got yelled at by my producer, aka.
All right, you got to listen to the producer. All right, here we go. So Philly, this is your 5th worst kit.
The pen explosion kit. I mean, I told you what I hate about it. That right there. I mean, I think Vancouver. It just look, man. It sucks. That kit absolutely sucks.
All right.
The only reason I put it in the bottom 5. As an aesthetic, it actually looks fine, but we talked about it exhaustingly. It just, they didn't do anything new, and that's why I put it as a bottom, because there's no creativity to it whatsoever.
All right, so that we're clear, 26 on Philly's list is Red Bull New York. 27 out of 30 is Vancouver's Bloodlines kit. 28 is the 17s kit from Atlanta, and 29, Philly, is, again, a disappointment for us both.
Yeah, the Atlantic. Yeah, we taken it back to the old school a few years ago. Okay, yeah, Austin's. I hate it. As to what it was and what it is now, I absolutely hate it. And then last but not least,
yeah,
the Foot Clan, and it's just because they didn't have it. You'd think that an attorney of some sort up there would have thought about this. I know a lot of these teams hire trademark attorneys and people that, are patent lawyers that know how to do this kind of stuff, that they would have had the gumption to figure out what they can do and what they could get within a certain period of time. And the fact that they don't have a kit, it by default is going to be the worst one. The one you said last year was great. Now I know that you're a fan of rocks. I know what to get you for your birthday. It's going to be very inexpensive this time around. But because they don't have a kit to reveal, that's why they're on this list. So to review, New York, the pen explosion kit. Atlanta, the completely uninnovative kit. Vancouver, the crap kit. And Austin, the eyesore kit. And then the Foot Clan kit, because it's not there. Those are my bottom 5.
Yeah, and I do want to say, if we were reviewing where Montreal's away kit that they're going to be playing in for much
top
of the
7, 8.
I absolutely love that kit. I agree. It would be certainly in my top 10. All right. We talked about Philly's bottom. Now let's talk about mine. My
it's a little bigger bottom than mine.
Yeah, look, my bottom.
Not anymore, though, actually.
Number 5, hopefully we don't have to wait for it to load too much, but it is the Chicago kit that I feel like we are still waiting for it to load. Just such a disappointing kit and such a disappointing. Look, to me, it's the worst crest we have as well. In the same exact spot in our rankings, what is that, third from the, I don't even know where we're at, 27 out of 30, on our list is that Bloodlines kit from Vancouver. I just think it was, talk about phoning it in. I don't know what the exchange rate is or what the long distance call. Or Philly, you'll have to tell us about long distance calls. But either way, I just think the Bloodlines kit is disappointing. Third worst, it looks like prison pajamas a little bit.
Beagle Boy kid.
Yeah, there are just so many things about Toronto's kit that I don't love. The name is uncreative. The club kit. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Let's do what Sporting Kansas City does, but worse. All right, we have television static. Did we have that in our same spot too? Wow.
Yeah, those two are in the same spot.
This is surprising that our fourth worst kit, our second worst kit, we're both in agreement on. And I feel like it's kind of a cop out, but I'm a teacher and you got to turn in your assignments to get some credit. Sorry, Montreal. Look, I get why, right? You want to make sure you don't offend the indigenous peoples that you're trying to highlight and trying to put the spotlight on. But your homework was due last week, and now you're still giving me excuses as to why you can't turn it in this day and age. I really do think it's kind of inexcusable that you couldn't get everything taken care of. Look, even when it was bad, the Chicago Fire released the Space Invaders kit and crest and everything else, and they just took it on the chin. Just remove the slogan, release the rest of your kit, and then bring it back for next year saying, look, we want to make sure we get this right, but we want to get our fans a kit of some sort. But again, if you would have done just a reversed version, a negative version of the kit that you just did with the gray, with the blue marble, maybe it's the blue with the gray marble, kind of would have been badass, but you didn't do it. So I feel like it's kind of a cop-out, Philly, that both you and I went with Montreal as our worst kit. But what we're not copping out is our top five. Philly, your top five, beginning with number 5.
Well, before we go there, okay, no, that's fine. I like that, but I did have the Toronto kit and the Chicago kit just on the outside of the bottom 5. That being said, my top 5. I mean, I love this. I think it's San Jose's best kit. You can see the smile on my face. Maybe you can hear it. Supposedly people can hear smiles. I think San Jose hit an absolute home run with this. They don't hit very many home runs in anything when it comes to tifos or talent on. They have talent, but a good team. They have an absolutely outstanding kit in my eyes. This is great. Next.
All right, number 4. Wow.
I know it's surprising, but I could have put it higher, but then when you see the other 3, you'll totally get.
I don't even know Johnny who you Cash, are anymore.
The Johnny Cash, I couldn't go with a Nashville kid as my number 1, bro, and you'll understand momentarily, but I do love this. Okay, we jumped the gun on that, but that's okay. The Wild Berry Pop-Tart, the Charlotte Hornet, the Buzz. Breakfast. I love breakfast. Intermittent fasting makes me hate breakfast, but okay. This right here, I mean, it was really hard to put it as number 2 because the Bruce Lee, I love martial arts. I've been involved in martial arts for decades. I think Seattle consistently does some of the best kits. I can't wait for their Nirvana one eventually. And then last but not least, my number 1, no surprise there, New York City Football Club. It reminds me of home, the subways, Lady Liberty, the state flag of New York. I love this. All 5 of these kits I love. I mean, I could have probably interchanged the Charlotte one, maybe with the Nashville or the Sounders. San Jose firmly stays in that 5th spot, but number 1 without a doubt, NYCFC. I love that kit.
I don't even think that San Jose's kit was in my top 20. And just to give you an idea, Philly, I've got your New York City Football Club kit in my top 30. I have it at number 9. Number 9 on this list. So
this would be boring if we had the same exact stuff to talk about.
No, absolutely. I mean, we do have relatively similar top 5s. My number 5, though, is a kit that I feel announces its presence with authority. As much as I don't like the Purina on the front, what I do love about St. Louis City's first ever kit is that they have cornered their market early. They have come out the gate and said, look, this kind of shade of red, which they're calling City Red, which as far as I understand, Adidas helped design with them, or, Adidas had this color waiting in the back and was like, no, here, this is new here. Either way, I think that this color for this kit, it is going to set trends in the city of St. Louis. It does hearken a little sort of kind of to the St. Louis Cardinals. It's just, but it does its own thing. The accents work really nicely. I love their crest. I think they did a great job. There's just so much that I think if we go back 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 years from now, this is going to be one of the what happened there, Philly?
Nothing. Nobody saw me do it. Can't prove anything. Moving right along.
This is going to be an iconic kit, and it's going to stand the test of time for St. Louis City FC. So I think that's why it's my number 5. Number 4 has got to be, it's blasphemy that an LAFC supporter, someone who's done 233 episodes of an LAFC podcast, puts Portland in their top 5, but at me, I don't care. We're not doing this from an LAFC supporter's point of view. We're reviewing all of the kits, and man, what Portland did so well. I love this kit. And again, if I was a Portland supporter, I would go buy this kit day one. So Portland, kudos, and your design team deserves it. Number 3, we're in the top 3, Philly, and look at that. We're in the same spot with number 3. I absolutely love Charlotte's Toaster Strudel kit. It is incredible. What is it actually called? The Crown Jewel kit, I think is what it's actually called, right? Everything they did about this kit was fun. It was creative. The crowns, if you see this kit in person, there are crowns on the kit all throughout, and it's gonna pop when you see it in person. It's a lot of fun. Charlotte, great job on your next kit, and way to keep it in the pocket. Number 2, Philly, you and I have the same number 2. I absolutely love. I do a podcast with a 7-year-old.
Who does number 2 work for? Sorry.
I absolutely love the Bruce Lee kit from the Seattle Sounders. Again, this isn't a day one purchase if you're just a Seattle fan. If you collect Major League Soccer kits, this is one of the few that I think will be iconic years from now. And it does make me wonder how and what they're going to do for a Nirvana kit at some point in their team's history. They get to, they're Seattle. So this kit, it's just so cool, man. Yeah. And talk about something that's not at all Seattle. This color scheme, this just everything about this just takes huge, big, bold strokes and swings. And I love everything about it. Kudos to Seattle. But Philly, I don't even know who you are anymore. My top kit is absolutely the Man in Black kit. If you're gonna swing and you're using Johnny Cash, my only critique on this kit is maybe it wasn't black enough, although the sponsor's like, look, you got to see our logo, come on, people. But I'm telling you, if Adidas would have gone ahead and said, you know what, you can make our logo black, and Nashville would have gone ahead and said, you know what, you can make our crest black, and they would have gone a little bit more black on black on black on black. That's the only way I think that you can improve upon what will absolutely go down, not just as Nashville's best kit that they have ever had, but one of the true iconic kits throughout the first 30 years. And here we are, 28 years into Major League Soccer. Add 2 more. I don't care what the teams come up with for these next 2 years. This Man in Black kit is going to go down as one of the truly iconic kits in Major League Soccer's first 30 years. I absolutely loved it. Just on the outside, I wanted to see Philly's face. I'll tell you this, number six, Philly, it could have been on this page, was the RSL's Beehive State kit. That's how much I liked
the Beehive kit.
That's what you keep calling it. That's not what I called it. Philly, do you want to go through? Do you have the rest of your top 10 or top whatever? Oh, look at that. Look, our producer is on top of it.
I'll be on top of the producer later. Oh, just kidding.
All right, family show. That's
family friendly.
Philly now gets to sleep on the couch. Philly, your
me and
your
Hello
final
Kitty.
Ranking, are there? Wow, there's a couple that really stand out to me. Go ahead and talk about anything about your final rankings. There are a couple that I look at, but go ahead, Philly.
Just welcoming back Hello Kitty for you Defenders of the Bank listeners.
Thank
Hello,
you.
Mr. Scarf. It has been a very long time since we've engaged in conversations over the internet. Just wanted to say hello to you. Hello Kitty got
Wait,
Scottish.
when
all of a
did
sudden.
Hello
I don't
Kitty
know.
get Scottish
I don't know.
Irish?
I don't know.
I've-
I have to find Hello. I found Hello Kitty somewhere. Now I have to find the accent. Yeah, these are my final rankings. We obviously went through the top 5 and the bottom 5. It might surprise you where I have LAFC.
17.
But I mean, but if you look at what I have otherwise, the St. Louis away, that was just outside of my top 5. Houston, I talked about how much I just enjoyed staring at it. Columbus was cool. I liked the Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis for Minnesota. Believe it or not, as much as I didn't like it, and I'm sleeping on Miami, it's still pink and black, my favorite color combo. And yeah, I mean, I don't
in your top 10. That's impressive.
Yeah, and I'm not going to go over this entire thing, but yeah,
No,
people
come to the YouTubes. They can check this out for sure. I do look San Jose at number 5, Columbus at number 8, and Minnesota at number 9. Those are some in your top 10 that, I mean, I think you need to get your eyes checked. But
what's the most surprising to you in terms of ranking?
Oh, I mean, for me, it's San Jose. Absolutely. I get it, right? It's fun. It's different, but it's just, I don't know. It didn't do it for me. And Columbus's doesn't do it for me. Miami's doesn't do it for me. I will say you have LAFC and then Carson and then Colorado. That's the exact same order that I have LAFC and then Carson and then Colorado. I just have them in a different spot on my list. The other one that, I'll talk about it. Why not? I mentioned it before. Number 6 for me, number 23 for you was Real Salt Lake. Here's my top 30. And you can see there's RSL at 6. Orlando's the wall kit at number 7. I actually have St. Louis's away kit at number 8. NYCFC and Houston. I have LAFC's kit 6 spots higher than you do. And then, that's right. I forgot about the Eastern Conference teams. I got LAFC over Philly, and that's pretty much how the last season ended too. I think we're both very similarly. We have similar ideas on New England's kit. It's pretty far down there. But look at number 20, San Jose. Number 21, Minnesota. 23, Columbus. I like that we vary a little bit on those 3 kits, especially. Our middles are relatively the same. Giggity? I don't even know anymore. But look, I think St. Louis's 2 kits are going to withstand the test of time. I think they're fun. They're good first kits. Philly, we got 30 kits reviewed, and we did this in about 100 minutes. That's pretty solid, right? We gave our takes on some things. Is there a slide after this that I'm forgetting about? I don't think there is, right? No. Okay. There's not. Our producer is telling us it is literally an all black slide. So there you go. No slide after this. Look, we want to hear what you guys have to say. Drop a comment on our YouTube page at Defenders of the Bank. Hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you can. Let us know how you feel about our rankings. Send us your rankings. Tell us why we're wrong. Tell us how right we are. Tell us what you feel about your team's kits. Is it a huge miss? Is it a huge win? What do you guys think? How do you guys feel about your kits? I want to hear from the Salt Lake City, Utah fans out there, from the supporters.
They're not going to like me.
Beehive State. Do you love it as much as I do? Do you dislike it as much as Philly? Can everybody see the X-ray smock on the back? I'm telling you, that's all you're going to see after you watch this video.
I don't have anything on top of that to add because, I mean, you pretty much hit everything. The last thing I want to say is, and this pertains mainly to our people within here at LAFC, between now and Friday, you still have the opportunity to win a free suite at Banc of Montreal stadiums, the BMO. Make sure you go in, you take a picture of yourself wearing a Flex kit, or you have a power drill of some sort. Tag Defenders and tag Flex Power Tools on your story. Follow Defenders and follow Flex, and then make sure you tag 3 of your friends. The winners are going to get announced on Friday. The way it works is there's going to be 4 winners. Each winner is going to get 4 free tickets. You're going to get a parking pass, and you're going to get the ability to be in a suite in the Founders Club with free booze or sodas, if that's what you like, and free food. It's an awesome opportunity. So once again, make sure to go over to the Defenders of the Bank on Instagram. Follow us, Flex. There's a post there. Follow the rules, and yeah, we'll pop in to hang out with the winners at the home opener here in just a couple of days.
Yeah, guys, 4 sets of 4 tickets. We're not just giving away 4 tickets
16.
to the seat. We're giving away 16 tickets. That's so many tickets. Oh my goodness, you guys hit us up
For
at
free.
Defenders of the Bank. That's right. You just have to do everything that Philly just said. El Tomito jerseys. You probably have my favorite picture that you've sent in so far of everybody with their flex accoutrements and paraphernalia. Philly, hour and 45. We hope everybody stuck around. Tell us what you think. Tell us why we're right. Tell us why we're wrong. Hit us
Tell
up
us
in
why
the
we're
comments.
dumb, or at least me.
Please like and subscribe this. I don't know where the button is or where I'm supposed to point to or whatever. I'm old. I don't know. I'm almost 40. Philly's on the 4th floor already. But that's no, they're not. It's not this way. It's down here somewhere, I think. I don't even know. Either way, watch. It's probably like right here and Philly's right. I don't know. Anyways, look, if you guys haven't checked out our podcast, we're an LAFC centric podcast, but we absolutely love talking about all things Major League Soccer. We talk about the world's game. We talk about the global game. Ooh, Philly on the spell check. Like and subscribe. I like it. We're doing great. This is fun. We're having a good time. Look, we're having fun.
It wasn't me this time. Yeah, I'm usually the guilty party.
Look, as long there we go. As long as
of course you defaulted
know,
to me, though, you jerk.
Hey, if you think I'm gonna blame your wife for anything that goes on with this podcast, you are out of your mind, my friend. I already have a couch I sleep on enough. Thank you very much. Look, hopefully you guys can tell we have a lot of fun with this. We bring really fun content each and every week, whether it's LAFC centric content or, as we're going to do over the course of this and several seasons from here on out, Major League Soccer content, U.S. men's national team content, World Cup content. Philly likes to throw in a bunch of stuff about Manchester United every now and then. I support
more indoor soccer than Manchester United.
A lot. Well, I was going to get to that too. My Premier League team, of course, is AFC Richmond. We kick off our season March 15th on Apple TV, and Philly. The Mount Panda does no wrong, says the ribbon there. Philly is one half of the play-by-play and color team of the Inland Empire's finest indoor soccer team, the Empire Strikers, with Panda as the sideline reporter as well. So guys, make sure you check out all the great MASL content. Soccer, yeah. That's right. All the great MASL content over at Striking Fury, their podcast. And look, if you love some NWSL action, make sure you check out Angel City Chicks as well. They cover all things ACFC, whose season is about to get started. So again, check us out on all the different social media at Defenders of the Bank and on Twitter at Defend the Bank. And that's Bank with a C, even though Bank of Montreal is with a K. We don't care anymore. It's BMO Stadium, but it'll always be Bank California Stadium. And Philly, let's tell everybody how we like to end each and every one of our episodes. Bye-bye.